Howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, another bedingless day. I forgot to unplug my speaker, so if I turn it on, it's still going to make the high-pitched electronic whining sound, and boy, is that annoying. Anyway, though, it is not bright and sunny, but there is, while a cloud cover, I think it's probably going to burn off and be pretty warm again. Thumbs up. With a whole bunch of fans going on, I managed to sleep pretty good last night, and I hope you did as well. Front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that'd be double plus good. And while I can't put all of my Patreon patrons up here on the screen as I prefer to, as I am using Share Factory off the PlayStation 4, I do want to thank these 4 new people on the list. Well, they're not new people. They've probably been alive for quite some time. But these are people on the list that I finally got the list changed to thank everybody that's a patron. Does that make sense? I bet that's not even English. But thank you, each and every one of you, for helping to keep me and my aging pet metabolizing. It is appreciated to no end. And if you would like to help keep me and my aging pet metabolizing, I have links to that thing in the video description, as well as a PayPal for possible donations and an Amazon wishlist link that I desperately need to update still. Front loading of videos over. Wow, taking a look at my list, that took forever. Yay, if you're still watching, thumbs up and thank you. Not a whole lot to talk about, but one of the first things on my list I've got to talk about, I uploaded a shorts from my Dead Island video. Now, I had a legitimate question asking why I put gameplay of something else in the background as that video is playing. There's a lot of reasons for that. Number one is because culture is so stupid. We could be playing widescreen video on our phones. But everybody just found it way too convenient to, instead of having widescreen video, to just hold it portrait so that there's nothing off to the sides. And if you put it so it's regular size, you got huge amounts up here. Otherwise, it's just a thin slice. Thanks, people. I rather like the whole put it on your side for widescreen aspect of it, and that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it does, the text there, and you can, but nobody uses it. You'll just have huge bars off to the side. But the other reason I have discovered, since there are a lot of TikToks where they'll put the entire video here, but then they'll have like gameplay of something else underneath it. I hate that. At the same time, I want people to be able to see what I have on screen. So I've got to zoom it in to that portrait thing for the shorts where you lose everything. But I want people to be able to see some of that stuff as well. So I put out the zoomed out screen and then I'll zoom into the portrait view. But I hate those black bars. My ADHD hates those black bars. And while I hate myself having anything going on the black bars, gameplay satisfies my ADHD. It feels right to me to have gameplay in the background and then the video over the top of it and then just treat it as, you know, a background. Whether or not it's a good idea, I don't know, but it just feels right to my ADHD racked brain. Thumbs up for that. So I just wanted to explain, if you ever watch any of my shorts, why there's stuff in the background or things like that. My ADHD just does not like those black bars. So we get rid of them with gameplay. What else do I have on my list? Ah, yes. There is, in some ways, I can see this as both good and bad. But Wizards of the Coast is still losing people massively, massively. They keep stepping on their own feet and hurting themselves. They are determined to destroy themselves as a brand. One of the things, though, that I actually don't kind of mind is there are a lot of Grognards, the older types out there, that have been doing this stuff since forever. One of the things that Wizards of the Coast has said is it may do the hobby better if we got rid of the older types that are playing so that we just had the newer ones. Now, in a way, of course, you can see that is, if we get rid of them, we just got the people that don't know the past, we can charge whatever we want. On the other hand, you have the people out there that are interpreting this as, oh, so you want to get rid of straight white males, huh? In that case, yeah, the hobby can do without that kind of mindset. If you're offended by that, taking it as an attack on you personally because of your straight white maleness, then yeah, the hobby probably can do better without you. Go off and be grognards with the other bigots. There ain't nothing wrong with being a grognard if you can keep up. Cultures change, and if you don't change with culture, your culture becomes irrelevant and dies. Or else, if you can do things that are possibly morally reprehensible, like going to all these Civil War reenactments where Americans get to say, hey, I fought on the side that wanted to preserve slavery. Yay. So there'll always be a market for anything, but you become increasingly irrelevant. Thumbs up for that. So in a way, it's bad that they want to do that, because there's plenty of older people that do keep up and are not just a drag on everybody else. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm glad that they're getting rid of the people that would be just, they may not even know or understand, but when you grow up, largely you apply those standards to the rest of your life. And culture keeps moving, and if you don't, you become increasingly irrelevant because your standards are from decades back. You gotta keep up. So thumbs up on that. But what else do I have on here? Oh yes, with my leg. It looks awesome today. Last night, just like every night, not so. There was there was localized swelling around my ankle. It felt that styrofoaminess. There were large discolored spots. This morning looks great, feels great, no redness, still taking the antibiotics. Is it going to be fine? I don't know. It's been 2 weeks now since my last infusion, and I'm still fighting it, and I'm almost out of doxycycline. And yeah, it's been a drag on my energy. Holy smokes. When I walked just to Safeway and back last night, and not even to buy anything, because with rolling charges, I was at minus money in my checking account, so I couldn't have bought anything even if I wanted to. But I need the exercise, so I just walked to Safeway and back. I almost didn't make it. I was so out of energy. Holy smokes, I am drained by fighting this. It is horrible. So, what else do I have on here? Oh, it's just what I want to talk about now is just the creative stuff, checking my list over there. With the King in Crimson and Utokk, and there are some parts of Utokk that I have never mentioned before that Utokk does. Now, remember, Utokk, Ambush Predator. There's a certain personality type, they come to Utokk's door, and once they walk in, because they have to walk in, even if you come within one molecule of walking within Utokk's domain, but then you stop, change your mind, and leave, you're free to leave. Utokk is perfectly capable of coming out and getting you. But no, you have to walk over the doorstep. And then Utokk will get you. Now, afterward, when they were discovered and decided not to run, a big thing Utokk has decided to do. Now, here's another, I need to mention this part because we can't perceive Utokk the way Utokk actually exists. We are 3+1 creatures. Utokk is a couple clicks above us. If we are clever and smart raccoons compared to the King in Crimson is a smart raccoon compared to Utokk. They are wildly more powerful. And try to remember where I'm going with this, because it was, I hate having ADHD, but still, it's with Utokk, and try to remember where all this is, because yes, to our eyes, Utokk's domain seems like Utokk, and Utokk seems like Utokk's domain. They seem to be the same. Whenever Utokk wants to do something within their domain, it just happens. Within our frame of reference, they seem to be the same. You take those steps out of our frame of reference and up to Utokk's frame of reference, no, they have a body, they have a separate existence, they're just moving stuff around and playing with their environment. So we can't even perceive Utokk properly, nor even understand Utokk properly. Utokk is one of those existential horrors. We can't understand them. They're doing things the way they want to do in ways that we can't comprehend. They don't really care about our human life or safety. But because they're not cosmic horrors, they have the power, the ability, and the desire to sometimes just get down in the mud and fuck with people. And that's what Utokk does. Now, Utokk doesn't care about us as individuals, we're only food. Utokk did not create their domain. They moved into this place. It actually has a name, Donachan. It was a place that they found as an ambush predator and took over. The thing that they do, again, they are very edgelordy and just awful. They constantly talk to the king and everybody and put out information about how they have their own domain. They overreacted in the beginning because they are constantly having to fight off attacks from other layers, and they had first interpreted the intrusion from the outside as an attack, and they treated it that way and killed. But once they realized their mistake, they've reached out. They pretend people emigrate to their domain because they can make perfect copies of bodies of everyone they have eaten. They have within themselves copies of every person they have ever eaten. They have access to the entire bodies, which, since it's a complete copy, they have access to every memory that every person has had that they eat. Now, they like to pretend, again, that people emigrate. And so they will occasionally fill in a body, pretend to be someone, and just talk, making a video about how they are, I occasionally hear this stuff about how it's so terrible in here, and it's not. And then they'll take video of these beautiful pastoral places with people that are farming, and they just talking about how the air smells beautiful, and it looks wonderful, glowing with health, showing the places where they're living, and just saying all this misinformation about how we emigrate here. I just had to put that straight. It's all Utokk. Utokk eats everybody who comes in. But they are able to perfectly emulate whatever they want to pretend. They can even bring out people to answer questions, because with perfect copies, only 1% of Utokk fits inside of a human being, and they use human being bodies to interact with human beings. But that is still Utokk. The 99% of Utokk that's not squidged into the brain still has access to everything. And so, all Utokk has to do is run a mental simulation of the situation with the person, and then perfectly parrot back to the people in the real world the responses from the mental simulation. And since it's a perfect copy of the person, they're perfect responses. The King in Crimson, while not being able to point to any evidence, does not believe this at all. They believe entirely that everyone who goes into there dies. But Utokk will never give this up. On the other hand, though, checking the list here, remembering though that while the King in Crimson loves human beings, again, finds us to be those very, very clever, very lovable raccoons and is trying to do their best to lift us up for the future and provide a framework for us so we can continue to grow even after they are gone. They love us, have great empathy, sympathy, and just feel that connection. Try to remember here where I was going with that. I hate having ADHD again. Yes, about the whole eating, how Utokk devours people. Even though the King in Crimson does believe that, they're not really bothered by that. As long as Utokk isn't eating like anyone off the Razor's Edge or anyone from the Crimson Kingdom or any of the surrounding villages, they don't care. Utokk isn't evil, and individuals have to eat. And if Utokk has to eat people, it's not like there's any shortage of us on the Razor's Edge, and not even on the inside. I mean, the kaiju itself could eat an entire layer's worth of people. 800 billion people every single day for 10,000 years. And when they were done, there would be more people on the Razor's Edge than when they started. There's no shortage of us in these places. The king doesn't mind that Utokk has to eat us, just as long as he's not eating the king's citizens or those on the Razor's Edge. So thumbs up for that. Let me see what else I have on here. I think that's about it. Yeah, so thumbs up on that. I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language, it's primarily just stimming. Yay. Let me call it my Chrome. No, that is my YouTube tab where I'm watching How Sunny V2 Ruined Video Essays by Pinely. But for my Chrome, now I gotta take my glasses off. Nexor EH, thumbs up, thank you. I'm glad you're okay. I've been missing you, and I miss everybody in comments when they don't leave comments. But with your health issues, yeah, I worry. I'm glad you're okay. I hope you can catch up on the videos. I of course have an exaggerated sense of self-importance about my videos and want everyone in the world to watch them. But do what you can and feel better, most importantly. We have Shinra, thumbs up, thank you very much, and just keep watching those Maxor videos. You may never understand what's going on in them, most people don't, but I love them. They are pure ADHD magic. We have Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. I really enjoyed making that Dead Island Shorts video. There is Chris, thumbs up, and thank you. It's really greatly appreciated, and I hope your day is good as well. JAYY, thumbs up, thank you. And I struggle with perfectionism and have struggled with it my whole life as well. There's that whole, if I can't do it perfectly, why even start? That, boy, do people with that have to push through. It's hard. We have Beyond the Capsule, thumbs up, thank you, greatly appreciated. 77 Arcturus, greatly appreciated. Glad that you are doing at least okay. Hopefully it continues to stay that way. We have Lynn, thumbs up, thank you. There is Patrick Starr, whom came up with the question that I went and answered about the whole video thing. R. Brooks, greatly appreciated, who had some advice for playing Dead Island. And then we have Wombo, thumbs up and thank you. There is Floramu, always good to see you in the comments. And I actually have a fursona. I don't, have a fursuit, but I like furry stuff, and my character is a little mouse. Not little, it's anthropomorphic, about 5 feet tall, great big radar ears. And of course, because in real world, although I am a cis male, I in video games and all this stuff, I play female characters because I don't know why, but I am. And so my little fursona mouse is, I say little because I'm 5'10", it's a she. There's RJ Mitchell, greatly appreciated, thumbs up, thank you. And Ocean Ocean, greatly appreciated, each and every one of you, thumbs up. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is appreciated to no end. Yay! Well, I've gotten phone calls made. Actually, they called me. The people that I needed to call called me yesterday, and I happened to actually be where the phone was. So I got stuff done yesterday, and that's a good thing. I'm going to try and get some stuff done today if I can think of what those things are, and hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. If not, please do not beat yourself up. It is not going to help you. Thumbs up for that. Now, of course, one last thing that I'm going to say as I prepare to close this in the generally awkward sort of fading off fashion. I've mentioned before how my backdrop picture, my wallpaper, that's the word, for my desktop here is of a snake swallowing a young woman. She is down its throat up to just her feet from the ankles down are poking out of the snake's mouth. Just a few more swallows and she'll be fully inside the snake. Then it's down to her tummy, its tummy, her, I don't know, where she will be digested alive. Now, do not imagine that this is a scene of horror. In the picture, this young woman's underwear are dangling off of one of her feet. Not in a way that the snake could have pushed them down. Oh no, they're dangling from her feet because she wanted to make sure that the snake wouldn't have to deal with trying to digest synthetics. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a good thing. Yeah. So, yeah.